Hello, good morning to all.
Good morning.
Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the hardware description language. In that, the point we will cover are nothing but the VHDL code for the comparator. But before that, we have to know about what we have studied in the previous lecture. Or in that previous lecture, we have studied multiplexer, demultiplexer, encoder and decoder. So in this lecture, we will start the next point is nothing but the VHDL comparator. Or in that VHDL comparator, or we know that comparator is a circuit which compares the input and give the output on the basis of, or here in general cases, we are comparing to two different signals. So if we see in our block diagram, we are comparing A and B, there are the input signals, and in that comparator, it is having the output such as the first output is the comparator output is A equal to B, or second output is A is greater than B, or the third output is A is less than B. So in this, the VHDL presents a simple VHDL code for a comparator which is designed and implemented in Verilog before. So here in the design of the comparator is based on the truth table and K-map are already presented here. So there are two bit inputs A and B to be compared. The outputs are A is less than B, A equal to B, and A is greater than B. So to study about that, the codes, firstly we have to write down in our IEEE language, the IEEE code. So the IEEE code, so firstly we are giving the library declaration, and in that library declaration we are using the library as an IEEE. So library IEEE use std or use IEEE.std underscore logic underscore 1164 dot on. That 1164 logic we are using. So the second part is nothing but the entity declaration. In that entity declaration, we are giving the input and output bits. So in that entity, the name of that entity is comparator underscore VHDL. That is the entity name, and the ports which are present are nothing but the A comma B. These ports are nothing but the in std underscore logic underscore vector. That is 1 down to 0. That is the two inputs. So here A is less than B, that is output, out std logic, A equal to B, that is out std logic, and A is greater than B. These are the three outputs. So the end of this entity. So end of this entity is end comparator underscore VSTL. Then architecture, or how we are able to define the architecture of the comparator. So in that architecture, we are giving the name, the behavioral of that architecture is nothing but the comparator underscore structural of comparator underscore VHDL is. So the signals which we are using are nothing but a temporary 1, temporary 2, temporary 3, temporary 4, temporary 5, temporary 6, temporary 7, and temporary 8. These are the standard logic signals or the temporary signals. So the next one we starts with the begin, or the here in that begin temporary 1, or if that A and X nor B, or here if that both the inputs are 1 1, then nor operation which gives us as a temporary 1. So here after that, or ORing of that nor or opposite means here X nor. So if that both the values are 1 1, or the output of that X or is nothing but if that both the values are same, then output is 0. So here if that both the values are same, A is 0, B is 0, the output is assigned to the temporary 2. And in that term, we are defining that temporary 1 and 2 as A underscore equal to B, because A is same, B is also same. So the second, that is the first part, that is the equal to part has been defined. The second one, the temporary 3 value is assigned as a, not a means that is 1, and not a, that is 0, 0, 0, 0, and b, that is all are the 0. So this value is assigned to the temporary 3. Or if a is 0 or uh, a is not a means this is also a 0. Means during that time or a is 0, then is will assign to temporary value 3. Or in that way are defining a is less than b. A is less than b means a value is 0, b value must be higher, or b value is 1. So at a time the assigned value, or if a is 0 and b is 1, because here only the two values are present to that signals, because these are the 1-bit signal, a is 0 or not a1, a or 1, not a1 is here 0 and b is 1. At that time it's assigned value of the temporary 4, and a is not 0 and b. So in data when the a is 0, b is 1, at that time we can say that a is less than b. That is the second condition. Then the third condition, how can we define? Or in that third condition, we are defining a is greater than b. Or when that a is greater than b, when the value of a is 1 and value of b is 0. So if that value of that b is 0 and value of a is 1, at that time the a is greater than b. So here not b or not b 0, that is the 0, and here not b 1, that is 0 into 0 or AND operation, 0 into 0 0, and a is 0. Then the next one not b, that is a 0 and a is 1, at that time the a is greater than b. And when that b is not b0 means 1, but here a and a0, these are the 1 1, so here 0 and 1 we are obtaining the a is greater than b, right? From this we are defined the outputs for these three logics. Our first one is a is equal to b. When the both the values are same, we are using the XOR logic. Then here a is less than b at a time when the value of a is 0, when the value of b is 1, at a time the a is less than b, that output is available. And when the value of a is 1 and b is 0, at the output side the value is a is greater than b. So in that way we are able to define the code for the VHDL code for the comparator. So the next point is about the VHDL adder. So how we are able to define the VHDL adder. So this diagram represents a 4-bit ripple carry adder. Or in that 4-bit ripple carry adder, we are adding A0, A1, A2, A3, and B0, B1, B2, B3. By adding this, we are able, or 4 bits as an output. So these bits are nothing but the H0, sum 0, sum 1, sum 2, and sum 3. That is the diagram. Or in that one, the carry, or here the bits are nothing but A0, B0, C0. That is nothing but the carry bit. But previously we are considered carry as a 0. But after that, when we add these bits, here the carry passes towards the other one, or here next one. If that full adder 0 generates a carry, this carry is applied to the full adder 1. After that, if that full adder 1 carry is generated, that is applied to the full adder 2 in the similar manner. And lastly, we are obtaining S0, S1, S2, S3, and the C4. These things are nothing but about the full bit ripple carry adder. So to define that full bit ripple carry adder, we can come in that way. A ripple carry adder is a to n-bit number plus carry input. The main operation of that ripple carry adder is to ripple each carry output to carry input of the next, or we are sending that each carry of that previous one to the next one in a single bit addition. So each single bit addition is performed with full adder operation. So in that the inputs are nothing but the A, B and carry in. These are the inputs and the outputs are nothing but the sum and carry out. That is are the output. So 4-bit triple carry adder can be easily constructed by a port mapping for adder, or here we are using the 4 full adder. So first full adder, second full adder, third full adder and fourth full adder. So to implement that one, we know that for that implementation, or we'll directly study about that VHDL code for this full bit adder. Firstly, we are defining the library. So in that VHDL language, first part is the library statements. In that library statement, firstly we are using library IEEE, then use IEEE dot std underscore logic underscore 1164 dot all. Then here entity, the name of that entity is nothing but the ripple adder, or entity name is ripple adder is. Then here port A, this one is the in std logic, that is the vector 3 down to 0, or here A is nothing but a 3 down to 0 means here we are using A0, A1, A2, A3, or here 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So similarly, B0, B1, B2, B3, these are the vectors. So the port A, that is the A in std logic vector, that is 3 down to 0, and instead of giving the separate inputs, we can directly define in a single statement. So similarly statement for the B is in std underscore logic vector 3 down to 0, and C carry in is nothing but the in std logic, and S is the out std logic, and the out std logic is nothing but the 3 down to 0, because here we are obtaining S0, S1, S2 and S3. So here this output is the 3 down to 0. So architecture behavioral of that ripple adder, or in that ripple adder, we are using the full adders, and addition of that full adder we are given at the output side. So here full adder VHDL code components declaration, or here in that components which we are using full adder underscore VHDL1 underscore 1 is nothing but, because here we are using a vector declaration. So to vector declaration, we have to use the component declaration. In that component declaration, port A in std logic, port B in std logic, CIN in std logic, and yes, out std logic and C out std logic. These are the end component. Then intermediate carry declaration. So here intermediate signals are means here in between that process. Actually the process is we are here, but here that carries, that is we are calling as C1, C2, C3, or these are the intermediate carry signals. So intermediate carries declaration signals C1, C2, C3, these are the STD logic we are, which are uh, in the middle part of this hub adder, first and hub adder 2, then hub adder 2 and hub adder 3 and hub adder 4, 3 and 4 in between that. So here begin port mapping full adder, that is full adder 1, full adder 1, full adder underscore VHDL 1 underscore 1 port map. The port maps are A0, B0, then C in, S0, S1. These are the port mapping of this first A0, B0, C0 and S0. And here the carryout is C1. These are for the first port mapping, then for the second, then for third, and then for fourth. So how we are able to define? So here for this full adder 1, then in the similar way full adder 2, full adder underscore VHDL underscore code. Then here port map A1, B1, C1, S1, C2. Then similarly port mapping for full adder 3, that is a full adder underscore VHDL1 underscore code port map, that is the A2, B2, C2. Then here S2, C3. In the similar way, for this port map is A3, B3, C3, S3, and C out, and end of this behavior. So inside that, the addition operation is done, and from this we are able to receive the output. So the outputs are nothing but a S0, then S1, S2, and S3. These are the outputs. Then here these are the carry. So in this simply we are able to define that full bit ripple caddy adder. So by a different way we can also able to define, but that instead of that we are using the first process. So we have to define the input output, and the process is defined by the architecture behavior, or in that architectural behavioral the input are nothing but the A, B carrying, and output is nothing but the S out, but these are nothing but the additions. S means sum, that is the 3 down to 0, 3 down to 0, all this sum. So in the simple way we are able to define the full bit adder. Then the next one, the VHDL code for the latches, or how we are able to define the VHDL code for the latches, or here for the flip-flops. So the basic flip-flops that are available, these are nothing but the D flip-flop, JK flip-flop, SR flip-flop, and the DT flip-flops. Or flip-flops is a 1-bit memory device, or in that flip-flop which is storing a 1-bit input, and when we calls that input, it gives the output based on its input values. So basically the flip-flops are nothing but the D type of flip-flop, then JK flip-flop, then SR flip-flop, and then T flip-flop. The SR or the T flip-flop means toggle flip-flop, SR means set reset flip-flop. So the firstly we will study about the SR flip-flop. A flip-flop circuit can be constructed from the two NAND gates, or in that SR flip-flop we are able to construct the circuit from the two NAND gates or the two NOR gates. These flip-flops are shown in diagram. That is, each flip-flop has two outputs. These outputs are Q and Q dash, and two outputs, two inputs, set and reset. The input for this flip-flop are set and reset, and output are the Q and Q dash. This type of flip-flop is referred to as an SR flip-flop, set reset flip-flop. So we are able to define by using the AND gate and the NOR gate, or two AND gates and two NOR gates. From this diagram we are able to define the flip-flop. So here the R, that is stands for the reset, S stands for the set, and here clock. So always remembers that for this flip-flop there is a input is required. because to change the value of that signal, we are using a clock. So based on that clock, if that clock is changing from 0 to 1 or it is changing from 1 to 0, at that time, the output of that flip-flop gets changed. So the truth table or here reset and set. So how can we define? So if that both the values are 0, 0, then or S is 0, R is 0. Then what happens? S is 0, R is 0. We know that if there is any input to that AND gate and at that time here the value of that clock is also 0 means 0, 0 output is 0, 0, 0 output is 0. And if that output is 0, then here if any input is 0, then output of that NOR gate is 1. So this is also applying to this part. If we are considering here it is a 0, then here 1, then 0, 1, 0. Any input is 1, then output is also 1. Or here the values of that gate change based on the input value. So firstly, if the two values are 0, 0. So how can we learn about this? So if S is 0, R is 0. S is 0, R is 0. The output is also 0, 0. If that output is 0, then the output of that OR gate is 1. But here the NOR gate is used. So here it also becoming 0. And this bar Q bar is 0. And if that part is applied to here, here is also value of 0. So here 0, 0, 0. But if here S is 0 and R is 1, S is 0 and R is 1, means that if that value is 0, the output is 1. Here the output is also, here the output of that R is also R is 1. But here other, based on this other value, if that value is 1, then here 1, 1, output is 1. If here is 1, here is 0. 0 output is the output of to that NOR gate. If there is 0, then opposite of that it is equal to 1, and if here it is 1, it is equal to 0. So here Q is 0 and Q bar is 1. So here Q of t plus 1 is 1 and other values are 0. But here the condition, that is the race around condition, is possible in that SR flip-flops when the both the values are input values are 1 1. If that both the input values are 1 1 at a time, here the both the outputs are obtaining the value as a 1 1. So that is nothing but the unknown if the both values are 1 1. So here the library code for this SR flip-flops, how can we able to define, or that can be able to define by using the truth table. Or in the truth table, when S is 0, R is 0, the value is 0. Then S is 0, 1, there is also, or these are the 0. So the firstly, we will define the library declaration. Library IEEE use IEEE.std underscore logic underscore 1164.all. Then use IEEE.std underscore logic arithmetic.all. Then use IEEE std logic underscore unsigned all. So here the entity, the name of that entity is SRFF or SR flip-flop is port. The input ports are nothing but set, reset, clock. These are the in STD logic. Then Q and Q bar. These are the out STD logic and end SRFF. Then architecture behavioral of SRFF is, architecture name is behavioral of SRFF is begin, process, clock. So variable temporary signal is nothing but the STD logic. Then begin. If clock is 1 and clock dash event or clock tick event, then if S is 0 and R is 0, S is 0 and R is 0, then The based on this value of that clock, these are assigned, or S is 0, R is 0, or if that S is 0, R is 0, the value is 0. The next one, else if S is 1 and R is 1, then the temporary value is assigned to the Z, because if that both the values are high or higher values at a time, these are nothing but the Z, but that Z is unknown because we are not able to predict the output when both the values are 1. The next one, else if S is 0, R is 1, then the temporary value assigned. If that S is 0, R is 1, S is 0, R is 1, S is 0, R is 1. If it is assigned, or in the same way, S is 0, R is 1, it is assigned to the value as a 1. S is 0, R is 1. It is value assigned to the, or the value obtained as a 1, or else it is a 0. Then then Q assigns the value of temporary signal, then QR assigned value of opposite of that temporary signal. If there is 1, then here the value of Q bar is 0. If here is 0, the value of Q bar is 1. And end process, end behavioral. So, but here the Z is unknown. We have defined. The next flip-flop is nothing but the D flip-flop, or here it is the same value we are propagating at the output side in the D flip-flop. If the values are 1, output side is also 1, 0, output side is 0. So we are calling this one as a D flip. The D flip-flop shown is a modification of the clock set reset flip-flop. The D input goes directly to the S input. So here the D input is directly goes to the S input as well as the reset input. S input and the complement of the D input goes to the R input, or in the reset side the complement of D is going. The D output is simplified during the occurrence of a clock pulse, or during that occurrence of that clock pulse the output is changing. If it is 1, the flip-flop is switched to the set state, or if that clock is 1, it is switched to the set state, and if it is 0, if it is 0, then it goes to the reset state, or we are calling as a clear state. So the truth table for this D flip-flop, if that value of D is 0, value of Q is 0. If that value of D is 1, value of Q is also 0. Then here, if that value of D is 0, Q is 1, and value of D is 1, Q is also 1. So the VHDL code for the D flip-flop library IEEE, these are the same entity. D flip-flop is port D, clock in STD logic, then out STD logic, and D flip-flop. That is the entity declaration. The next one, architectural behavioral of D flip-flop is architecture behavioral of the D flip-flop is the flip-flop is begin. We are starts with a process, and the process is always based on the clock. Or here, all the flip-flops are based on the clocks. So begin if clock is equal to 1 and clock tick event, then Q is assigned to the value as a D. Because here, if that clock is equal to 1, or here, if that clock is 1, then Q is assigned to the value of D, or here 0, 0, 1, 1. But if that clock is in the opposite side, if that clock is in the opposite side, because here 1, 1, then here 1, then here 0, 0, here is also 0. But if that clock is in the opposite side, then the opposite value is assigned. And if end process behavior. So in the simple manner, we are able to define a D flip-flop by using the VHDL by its output table or by its truth table. The next one, JK flip-flop. Or JK flip-flop is refinement of the SR flip-flop. We know that in that SR flip-flops, if that two values are 1 1 input side, then it goes into the undefined condition. We are not able to define whether that output is 0 or whether that output is 1. So to avoid that condition, we are using the JK flip-flop, and in that JK flip-flop is the advancement of the SR flip-flop. So to remove that disadvantage of this SR flip-flop, we are using the JK flip-flop. In that JK flip-flop, in that the intermediate state of the SR type is defined in the JK type. The input J and K behave like inputs S and R to set and clear the flip-flop. So here the diagram of this JK flip-flop is shown in figure below. In the diagram, we are using the AND gates or AND gate, two AND gate and two NOR gate by adding this. But here what happens in that output is we have applied as an input side in the both way. But in the previous one, there is no output is provided to the back side. So in that SR flip-flop, no output is provided to the back side. But in that one, the output is provided to the feedback side. The output is provided to the feedback side. The truth table of this JK flip-flop. So the truth table for that JK flip-flop, in that JK flip-flop, if both the values are 0, 0, we know that if that both the values are 0, J is 0, K is 0, the output is also 0. The output is 0. If that value of that J is 0, K is 1, and Q of T plus 1 is also 0, then the output is also 0. Then here J is 1, K is 0, and the previous value is also 1, then output is also 0. If that J is 1, K is 1, and previous value is also 1, then output is 1. Output is 0. So to write down that VHDL code for the JK flip-flop, firstly declaration is nothing but a library declaration. And in that library declaration, we are defining the IEEE logic. Then arithmetic logic is also used, and logic unsigned. Logic unsigned is also important because here no any negative sign is we are defining. So the entity JK underscore flip-flop is, the name of this entity is JK underscore flip. The port J, K clock, that is nothing but the in STD logic. Then Q and QB, these are nothing but the Q and Q bar. We are telling here the out STD logic and end of this JK flip-flop. Then architecture behavioral of the JK flip-flop is the process, then variable signals, and based on the clock, if that clock is 1 and clock tick event, then if J is 0, K is 0, then the temporary value is assigned to the output signal. If J is 1, K is 1, then the temporary value is not opposite of that is assigned. If that J is 0, K is 1, then temporary value is assigned to the 0. If that J is 0 and K is 1. If that J is 0 and K is 1, then the temporary value of 0 is assigned to the output side, or else temporary value 1 is assigned to the output side. And if, then here the end statement, then q is assigned to the value of that temporary 0, and q bar is assigned to the value of not temporary values. Then end process, end behavior. Then the next flip-flop is nothing but the toggle flip-flop or the T flip-flop. Or in the toggle flip-flop, when that clock is changing its pulse at the time, it gets toggled. Toggled means the value gets different, or if that value is 1, then it is toggled to 0. If that value is 0, it is toggled to 1. The T flip-flop is a single input version of the JK flip-flop as shown in diagram. The T flip-flop is obtained from a JK type if both inputs are tied together. If that both the inputs are here, the first input and second input both are the same and these are the tied together, the output of a T flip-flop toggles with each clock pulse. With changing that each clock pulse, the output is toggled. Or if the value of T is 0 and it is, then if the value of that 0 and here the bit is changing, or 0 1, then here again the value of 1. If that value is 1 but here the bit is changing 0, then it is the 1, or it is toggle. Then VHDL code for the T flip-flop, library declaration, then entity T flip-flop in STD logic clock as a out. The clock is also the in STD logic, but only the Q, that is the out STD logic. So define that architecture behavior of that T flip-flop is the signal. The signal value is assigned temporary. Why we are temporary assigning? Because the value are changing continuously. So we are calling this one as a temporary value. Then underscore logic. Then begin. Then the process clock. If clock tick event and clock is 1, then if t is equal to 0, then t assigns the value temporary signal, and if else t is 1, then temporary signal is assigned the value of not temporary. So here in the next time it is a change. Then if and and end process. Then lastly the q is assigned value of temporary value and end behavior. So in that way we have studied about these flip-flops, or the 4 flip-flops: toggle flip-flop, JK flip-flop, SR flip-flop, and the D flip-flop. So we will stop here, and after that next points we'll cover it to the next lecture. Any doubts regarding this?
No.
Okay, thank you.